This is a presentation for Deliverable 2. I'm Cadet Chloe Smith, and my partner is Cadet Aaron Gilliam. So the first thing we're going to do is introduce the scenario. We're then going to discuss the purpose of the assignment. After that, we will go into each specific requirement and what we did to solve our scenario. So for our introduction, we've arrived at BCT and we're given a special assignment in the cyber department. So we're monitoring cyber activity, and we don't get a bunch of information, but we have large amounts of data from Yelp, a movie database, and Amazon. Each of these sentences is labeled with a positive or negative sentiment, and we need to develop a tool that can analyze this text and hopefully characterize the sentiment of these sentences. So the purpose of this assignment is to use VBA to detect sentiment of particular words, to sort through data, positive and negative sentiments, and to determine what information is meaningless and what is important. So for requirement word, our assignment was to create a bag of words vector representation for every sentence. So for that, what we did was create a function that split up the sentence and then counted the amount of words within each sentence. So again, we determined how many of each word is given, and we use this to analyze trends. For requirement 2, we had to develop at least one regular expression that we think will support sentiment detection. So that first, what we did is we detected how many of the word V is in each sentence. So whether or not there's a V in the sentence, we put V found. Then we calculated how many V's were of positive sentiment and how many V's were of negative sentiment. Then we calculated the SI, which is represented in the formula below. So we use this to support the sentiment detection, determine what exactly each of these sentences means. And we used it by detecting the presence of a V in the sentence. For requirement 3, we created a visual analytic for the vocabulary of the sentiments with positive sentiment and negative sentiment. So these are the counts for the words there, is, and no. The first row is total count of these words within the sentence. The second row is the total number of positive of the words, and the third is the total count of how many negative sentiments of the words. And then lastly, we have our SI unit again. Lastly, for requirement 4, we trimmed the words that were meaningless to recreate our visual analytics. Unfortunately, we could not get our visual analytics to then run again on our trimmed sentences, but here we have a representation of how we trim the sentences to cut out words that would not be helpful to us in our data.